What's up, guys? But anyways, before we begin, please, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Like I said, it's not normal that we get 4, 5, 600 views and we don't even go past 200 likes. Let's just hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe because we are trying to make it to 5,000 subscribers. Okay, don't forget that. And also don't forget to share so that other people can see this video, and then now the family can grow, right? So you never know. Yesterday I did not upload a video. I took some pills and I slept like a log of wood. By the time I woke up, it was too late to do that, and I was like, I may as well just leave it and give you the information today. Although nothing changed, okay? Nothing changed. Still the same thing. Other than a lot of people are jumping bridges right now, right? We have yeah, people never learn. They never learn. Anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Before we proceed, please understand that this, my friends, is not financial advice. You are more than free to do whatever you like with your money, and so am I. And that being said, let's grab a sip of coffee from my super dad mug. Yeah, everything, guys, definitely everything tastes better with Kaspa. Today we're about to do the same thing we do every day. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is funny, right? It is funny. But anyway, we're about to look at the 24 hours market performance. Right after that, we will check out prices in details. And once we are done with that, we will check on our positions. Are we buying Lambos yet? But before that, guys, let me set this down for a second. Market is not looking great. Market is not looking great. Market is not looking as grandiose as most people would think it would. And at the same time, it's not looking bad. If you really look at it from a perspective, from a different angle, it's not looking bad. You have to understand, like I said many times here, macroeconomy, okay, controls this bull run. That's where we are going. There's no two ways about it. There's no different how can I say, description I can give you. There's no difference. When you start to put two and two together, you will start to understand the whole movement way better. But in case you did not notice, I've been telling you here about gold, right? I told you it's not good for you to get into gold at this point. Wait for it to take a breather. How low is going to go? We want to see where the moving average is going to be by the time now it starts to go down, for us to determine how low it is going or where it's going to bounce. We've been talking about that here. And also I've been telling you about other precious metals. But yet, you see people, yeah, it's still going to go up, it's still going to do this, still going to blah, blah, blah. All is about currency. It's not about economy. It's not about that. And then you start looking at international waters, you start looking at the Japanese people, start looking at what China is doing, it will begin to make even more sense. More sense before. First, you look at the approach that China started. They started buying gold, telling people, like, you know what we can do today is like the US dollar. Look at them, they are printing a lot of money and they are devaluating the value of your assets that you hold in US dollars. They started buying gold. You guys remember when our good friend Trumpicius Magicius took office, right? Oh, Fort Knox, oh, gold, oh, this, oh, that. That, my friend, China, I think that they felt afraid of this. They know this was going to happen. And I think they thought they could amass more gold than the United States. Therefore, they started building that Shanghai gold street. If you've been following gold like I have done a couple of years, you will see that China started building gold reserve, over 10 years ago, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it was. They call it the Shanghai gold strip. They have more gold in that their reserve than they have ever had. So once they got the amount of gold they thought that they have more than the US, they started telling other countries, listen, the US is printing money, the US dollar is doing this, the US is blah blah blah, the US is going here. Look, you can borrow money from us because gold has more value, gold is more stable, it doesn't get printed, and blah blah blah. They started telling people about that. Okay, but I think that plan has backfired on them, because the simple thing, like, you remember I asked the same question. If you watch the African Economic Forum, I forget, I think it was in Zimbabwe or somebody asked the same question that I asked here months before that, which is, where is the gold going to get stored? Is it going to be in China or in your own country? Now, because if you store it in your country and you borrow, let's just say 100 billion from China, they have to come to your country and audit. Now, they come to your country and audit it, which is okay. But who is going to give you $100 billion if they don't have control of the collateral? Which leads to the second question again. Are we going to take our gold and give it to China as collateral for borrowing 100 billion? What if in the middle of that agreement, I decide, you know what, I don't like the terms you're giving me, because everybody knows China usually flip in the middle of an argument, give you something else. What if I don't like it? Is China going to let you walk like nothing happens, like we stay good neighbors, walk into their house, collect your gold and leave? Is China going to let that happen? That's the same thing. Like I said that is a tough one. What's the difference between them holding your gold, whether you like it or not, and the US issuing you their treasury bonds as collateral, and then if you don't do what they want, they can either freeze your money or something? What's the difference? None. The same, right? So countries started opening their eyes to it, and you know what? We are better friends with the United States because they offer more than just the money. They offer the security, there's a lot of things they offer. Okay, the US is known for that. And China flipped the script. All of a sudden, you started seeing silver prices start to rise. And everybody started like asking, whoa, so what's going on? People like me who's been telling you guys about gold being store of value, silver being this, I've been accumulating precious metals since 2011. So yeah, I knew one day it will come, because I know the monetary history of China and the rest of the Asian countries with silver. Okay, those of you who don't know, before the gold standard became, China used silver as to control their inflation, because silver was something heavier, silver was something difficult to get, silver was, their standard. And in the 2000s, if I don't remember wrong, because I read about it a long time ago, in the 2000s, the US fucked them over with that, because there is two types. Okay, silver, a lot of people think silver is silver. No. There's two types of silver assets. There is the physical silver, okay, this one that you hold, and there is paper silver. Paper silver, like the ETFs and all that nonsense that we have. There's two of them. Now, by the time China started using silver, this was like what, 200-300 centuries, that's where they started using it. The US discovered if they control the price of silver, they can fuck up China's economy. You see what I'm going with this? So what the US did is raise the price of silver. That's what they did. Therefore, what was happening is, like, since China was using silver for their money, a lot of people started exporting silver to the US, to the other places that the price was higher than in China. Okay, that made a lot of silver leave the country. That, my friend, silver was so hard to be found, and then China found out other ways to try to balance that silver. Now, with that said, the US had the biggest amount of silver in the world, they started controlling however they want Chinese inflations. Because if you base your money on an asset that you don't control, you have a problem. You have a problem. So the Chinese, they learn into that because that movement of the silver forced them to go into paper money. They're just like everybody in the world. They forced them into that, and that led the domino effects that they are into there, that the Chinese yuan is almost worth nothing. So, what did they do? You remember the same situation with the rare earth mineral, right? They are mined around the world. But because China has the cheapest labor, people, all these countries, they ship their rare earth to China to be refined. Okay, to be refined. And they use the same tactics that the US used on them to play on the rare earth, saying that, okay, we are not going to refine them, or we're going to restrict rare earth mineral. The entire world, as a matter of fact, the US now has their own factories of rare earth mineral. The same situation they are doing with silver, because when you ship this silver is not just a metal that happens on its own. Silver is a byproduct of different metals. So yeah, for you to mine just silver is going to take a while, blah blah blah. But China right now has the biggest amount of silver in the world. So because you guys going to say, oh, how? When all these people were shipping their raw materials to China to get refined, the byproduct, most of it that was silver, China stored them. They stored them. Okay, so right now that they have it, they control the price of silver. And now people will be like, okay, gold is, we don't understand why gold is that important. What about silver? Silver is the same thing almost, because with silver we use even more. It's not something that you can just say, okay, let me just wait for price to come down. No, silver is used much more than gold in the world, for military, for construction, for electronics, you name it. Silver is used. So right now, China is manipulating the price of silver, making it go higher and higher and higher, just like they did with gold. So yeah, those of us who got in silver, copper, gold, a long time ago, in 10 years past, 2011, 2012, when nobody thought it was going to be anything, we are happy about it. But right now, again, just like I'm telling you about gold, I don't think you should be getting into it right now, because it's all macroeconomy matters. One way or another, the US is going to find a way to counter this, just like they did with the gold. Because China now realized that, okay, no matter how we try to do with gold, the US has more gold than the entire world, than all these countries. The problem with the US, which again, me being a citizen, an American, I like it. I like that. The US doesn't show. They don't show their hands. They don't. It's just people, they speculate. Like Trump uses that in the advantage. You remember, oh, Fort Knox, we are going to audit Fort Knox. We are going to look at Fort Knox. Now Fort Knox quiet. Because the US, the gold that they confiscated in World War I is still there. World War II still there. All this war they've been to, and all these countries like Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi, all those things, all that gold is still there. And you are not even counting the one that they are mining themselves. US has the biggest gold reserve. So if you're trying to base economy based on gold, you lose. I think China has also noticed that, because also there's the news that came out when US say, you know what, we are going to reprice the price of gold based on what we have, and everybody got scared of it. Now they started with silver, which again, that's something, a movie. I want to see how it ends, because now if you look at the exports, silver exports or imports, okay, excuse me for a second. Yeah, sorry about that. So where were we? Yeah, we're talking about silver. Anyways, we start to look about it, and again, I tell you, silver is very interesting when you start digging that hole, because you look at it, the US, their reserves are still untouched. They're still untouched. The amount of silver in the reserve is unknown because most people don't even ask about it. Everybody always asks about gold. And then when you look at it again, the biggest silver reserve in the world is Peru. Peru, an ally of the United States, because Peru hold the biggest. I think it's 140,000 metric tons or 140 something thousand. China itself does not hold a lot of reserve of silver other than the one they've been having as byproduct from processing raw materials from people. So yeah, that again is something that we are going to see how it plays out. And something again that calls my attention is the US government not saying nothing about it. They don't really care. It's like they don't care. Again, I told you, everybody is fighting to save their currency, not their economy. See how it's going, right? Again, all nations, they have also started to get worried about the 30 or 31 trillion dollar debt of the US. We've talked about it here so many times, and when I tell you this January, okay, if you look at it, this January, China is going to pass a law about silver, restricting the amount of silver that you can export from China. That is why the prices of silver are going skyrocketing, because January is just a couple of days to go. Okay, so a couple of days here. Now, to the world, they are panicking about it because we all know China, they are restricting. It's not actually restricting, because they're asking, okay, they're saying what we are going to do is that you need to have a special permission, a special permit for you to export silver. And we all know what that means. It means complete shut off. Just like they said, you remember when they talked about Bitcoin, and they say you need to have a special permit, a special permission to trade Bitcoin, and it was a complete shutdown. So people know. So right now, they word it that way, special permit, because they know if they say complete shutdown, they have a problem in their hand with every other country coming for their neck. So yeah, you see that, and silver started rising. That's the whole reason why it started to go up. And because of that announcement, before you know it, everybody came to gold, start selling off. Like I told you guys, gold was running on fumes. People did not pay attention to it. Like, look, I always show you guys this chart, okay? Look at this chart. This is gold, okay? On the 1 hour, I think it is. Come on, let me close this. No, this is the 4 hour. Let's start on the 1 hour. This is gold on the 1 hour. And right now, gold is testing the moving average. The ribbon is curving, not completely yet, okay? This is classic. Depends on what they do with the market. The market makers, normally this usually do this, come, touch, and down we went. He usually do like that. So I told you, be careful with this, and do not get into gold until everything else is done, right? That's what I told you, remember? And again, you look at it now, ribbon has done red downwards. Let's see what happens here. On the 4 hour, you can even see it again. Price always gets attracted to moving average. I would have been comfortable if this thing came down and retested the moving average, then bounce, but it didn't do that. Okay, what it did first of all is go under the ribbon. Although ribbon still green and it's squeezing, is retesting the ribbon right now. Let's see what they're going to come up with today, because this thing looks like a continuation to go and try the moving average. That's what it looks like. And once it does that, what we'll figure out, is it going to bounce from there? Okay, is it going to do, up, down, bounce and go, or is it going to be bounce, or is it going to be right under it, retest and go? That's what we are looking at. So things are looking very, very very, 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 very serious right now. Things are looking very serious. As a matter of fact, that's why you see every other asset dumping, because gold is doing this. If you look at silver, for example, let's see silver. If you look at silver, and you go, let's take any of them. It don't really matter. Look at silver. Look, when gold is dumping, silver is pumping. Same situation that gold was. You remember I kept telling you it is a parabola. You gotta watch out for this. Parabola. This means like very soon this thing will be on fumes and it will take the same movement that gold just did. But you can, I like looking at higher time frames like the daily. See, is in a parabola. Look at this. That's where it is going. And so everybody, again, you're about to hold a hot knife. You are about to do that. And again, if you look at it, even the weekly, look at that. See, is in a parabola. That's why people are not even paying attention yet. And the funny thing is, look at the difference in price. Look at where the moving average is and look at where the price is. You see? So yeah, it is funny thing. Very, very funny thing. But now, it comes to the same question again. Why is the US not worried about the situation? Why are they not worried about it if China is trying to use the same tactics that they use on them, okay, to mess up their economy years ago? Simple. Cryptocurrencies. That is why the US is not worried about it. Because if you really look at it, like I said here, they are going to pump the market. January, the Genius Act, the Clarity Act goes in effect, which means all these coins you're looking at, yeah, yeah, he's coming. Okay, now with that happening, the ISO 20022 is already live. Now the US is going to peg, like we said here many times, US Treasury to stable coins as a way of regulating stable coins, where you cannot print or do whatever. So if your exchange or bank or whatever, if you're let's just say exchange like Binance is trading 500 billion in stable coins, they have to hold US treasuries worth 500 billion. See, that means you have to buy that debt from the US whether you like it or not, because the US is the reserve currency. Do you imagine yourself trading Bitcoin in yuan or in Japanese yen? No, US currency. You see, everything is playing out according to plan. It's playing out. So that debt is going to disappear before you even say hello. And that's something that all these countries do not like, because US has found another way to control the world's economy. The US is not, when they say US being the capital of the world in crypto, that's what they mean. They have now regulations and they have now ways of using it to their advantage. You understand? To their advantage. Things are playing up. US saw it coming and they started way ahead of anybody. When Japan and everybody else, when China, India, everybody else was worried about precious metal, US wasn't, because they already have the stockpile of them. Now the easiest way is blockchain. And now, if you look at it, the US debt goes away, because that's what this looks like. With the use of the US Treasury bonds pegged to the stable coins, the US is going to have enough profits to pay off that debt, and enough profit left over without even needing to sell more of the treasury bonds, because now you kill two birds in one shot. You don't need to look for buyers, okay, people to buy your debt. You don't need to look for it no more, because stable coins are getting transacted, and those transacting stable coins, they have to buy those treasury bonds. You see how many banks are in the world that are transacting the US dollar? How many crypto exchanges in the world that are transacting the US dollars? You and I on spot, yeah, I want to buy Kaspa. I don't use anything else. You have to use USDT, right? Even the exchange that you use Bitcoin has to convert that to USDT to give it the real value. So things are playing in the US government backyard. That's why they don't worry about it. Now, like I usually tell you, everything points out that the coins I talk about on this channel are going to make me money, short term or even long term. Short term, we are looking at one quant ISO 2022 compliant. You're looking at the connecting banks one to another one. You're looking at it. And now with this law, Clarity Act going live, stablecoin getting used, banks going live using blockchain and stablecoins, Quant is going to run. Then you look at Kaspa. Kaspa being the fastest, the most secure, the most scalable, and then with VPROX, which again, they already told us is going to happen in 2026. Like I told you guys, those of you who were jumping the bridges because Shy told you it was going to happen in 3 to 5 years. See what Jonathan said? 2026, we're having VPROX. So with all that development coming in, and Kaspa being the fastest, most secure, better than anything else, which I call the real Bitcoin, you now know short term is going to make me money. Okay, long term is going to make me a multi-millionaire. You see? And you look at the Japanese people trying to fix the economy, trying to go into blockchain, and the way they are planning to use Jasmine, that's another thing that tells me that Jasmine, yeah, is one of the chosen one. As a matter of fact, that's why I always say Kaspa, Quant, and Cash in that order. Or you want to go Kaspa, Quant, Jasmine, and Cash in that order. Because again, the way the macroeconomy is going, gold has started showing weakness, which means stock market has also started showing weakness. As you guys saw when yesterday, when everything dumped, gold, stock market, everything was dumping. You want to have cash, because that, my friend, is just the beginning, the test, the tip of the iceberg. When it goes to shit, when it really hit the fan, stock market is going to go lower. Gold, silver, you name it, is going to go low. And by then, you want to make sure you have cash to either buy crypto or buy the stocks or buy precious metals. That's why I include cash in that equation. So it's up to you if you want to do that, or you want to sit on the side and cry with everybody. Because right now, like I said, they haven't pumped crypto yet, and they have a very short window to pump it. Because now, as you guys can see, macroeconomy bad news has started to come in. They will start to come in very soon. Silver regulated, gold doing this, stock market doing that. Before you know it, inflation is going to hit, because those numbers, okay, FOMC numbers, they are coming in. Although they tell you, hey, economy is doing fine. Nope, it's not. Because first of all, job market is absolutely piece of crap right now. So yeah, things are coming. But now you're gonna see, it's gonna, like a lot of people say, oh, extended bull run. Really? You see, yesterday everything dumped. What did Bitcoin do? Lower, right? But yeah, they are going to pump it. I still believe that, because the chart is your friend until the end. Right now, indicators are showing that Bitcoin hasn't started yet. By the time they pump it, it's going to go. It's like a spring that you've been compressing so long, and when you let go, it's going to spring up really high. Me, 150, 160,000, that's what I think. Okay, but anyway, it's a very short window. Maybe it's going to happen in a matter of weeks, not months like people are talking about. Matter of weeks, you're going to see that price jump like that. Anyways, let's go right quick. Let's go look at the market. Let's see how the market has been performing for the past 24 hours. And to do that, we're going to need our good friend Crypto Bubbles, which is right here. Yeah. Money is going to trickle down, right? Money is going to trickle down. Yeah. Anyways, let's go right quick. First start with Kaspa, KAS, and we have here for the past hour, let me adjust my glasses, 0.6% down, 1.8% down on the day, 3.1% down on the week, 26.3% down on the month, and 62.4% down on the year, sitting at a market cap of $1.16 billion and a 24 hours volume traded at $14.43 million. Again, I keep telling you that volume is very, very low. Right now, yeah. Well, let's watch and see. Going to the next one, QNT, the banker's coin, and the coin a lot of people love to hate. We do have 0.3% down the last hour, 0.2% down on the day, 4.3% down on the week, 32.4% down on the month, and 37.3% down on the year, sitting at the market cap of $1.04 billion and a 24 hours volume traded at $14.98 million. Okay, we go look at cubic, high risk, high reward, and what do we have? 0.4% up the last hour, 1.7% down on the day, 6.8% down on the week, 22.3% down on the month, and 79.1% down on the year, sitting at the market cap of $80.54 million and a 24 hours volume traded at $1.82 million. Now we look at Jasmine, the Japanese Bitcoin. We have here 0.3% down the last hour, 1.1% down on the day, 4.3% down on the week, 19.2% down on the month, and 82.4% down on the year, sitting at the market cap of $289.56 million and a 24 hours volume traded at $13.69 million. Okay, now we go look at Jonathan Spector Bitcoin, which I call the orange guy. As you can see, 0.1% down the last hour, laying flat on the day, 0.5% up on the week, 3.9% down on the month, and 6.1% down on the year. Regardless, you look at it and you start to see something. We are sitting at the market cap of $1.76 trillion and a 24 hours volume traded at $35.20 billion. The volume has started to climb, right? As like I tell you, they are going to manipulate it, but there's time that they don't have that much choice but to let it go, let it run, right? That time is coming. Now, let's go right quick. Let's go look at prices in a little bit of details, okay? Give me a second right here. Okay, here we are looking at the markets right now. Dixie is going up. Bitcoin is also going up. Yeah. That's not what we want. We want Dixie to drop and Bitcoin to go up. But okay, that does not mean you cannot take advantage of this kind of situation. It's something I haven't said here before, but it's also an opportunity. You understand? Even when the market does that, it is also an opportunity. As a matter of fact, right now I am teaching my son how to scalp the market. We are doing that with Bitcoin on the 5 minutes. Okay, on the 5 minutes. I will show it to you guys in a second. But that's what we are doing. We started with the $20, and yeah, you'll be impressed, because I want my son to know how to leverage the trade at 9 years old. Let him start to learn those kind of stuff. But anyways, that's completely different. Let's go back to what we are talking about. See, we go here, Dixie up, Bitcoin up, which is something we do not want to see. But anyways, look at Kaspa, for example. The market crashed yesterday. Like I told you guys, if Kaspa hits that 5 cents, there is over $40 million in short liquidation that will happen. And as you can see this, you can also see something. When it happened yesterday, it means we haven't lost that support yet. You can extend this all the way down. You can see we are still trading on the same price range. It's not going to be perfect because I'm using my phone. And then if you take this, let's say this is the breakout for now. Okay, but anyway, what you will see here is that first of all, the ribbon is red, but I started to curve on the 1 hourly. So yeah, we are still there. The bullish momentum is still there. We haven't done nothing different than it was a couple of days ago, which is break above this resistance. Now we're testing it, and now maybe this is the bounce, and then it will go. So things are playing out the way they are supposed to. If you look at it on the 4 hourly, you will also see the same thing. It shows it even better here. You can see here we had that resistance, finally broke above it, support. Now let's see if that goes, because the same again, we're still playing on this flag, okay, which is still the same. Nothing has changed. Okay, you guys already know price always get attracted to moving average. Once the 1 hour resets, the 4 hour is going to do the same, and before you know it, everything else is going to start running the way it's supposed to run, right? So I'm sitting tight. If you look at it on the 4 hourly, you will see the same thing here. 4 hourly, the same. So just sit tight and wait. And that's why I tell you guys, anything under 12 cents is still nothing but noise. There's nothing there other than noise. So I'm going to wait and see how this ends. But as you guys can see, if I zoom it out, you will see that on the weekly, this and this is higher. We started this week now, is still higher than this. So it's another higher low. So things are playing out the way they're supposed to. No need to panic. So yeah, 12 cents is still my target. After that, we have 15 cents before we start going into 18 and 19 cents, and then hit the all-time high and get into price discovery. And for those of you for daily traders, you can also see this. Let's go this way. Yeah, this is me. Like I said, I'm teaching my son how to trade how to scalp the market on the 5 minutes. As you guys can see, we started with $20, and right now we are at $80. As you can see, we are scalping Bitcoin, and we're now $80. So yeah, we started with 5. We're doing that using the Bollinger Bands. Like you guys remember when I told you, once the price let me go here and let me try to zoom it out, see if it's gonna let me. We're doing this, okay? We're using the Bollinger Bands. Every time the price touches the top of the Bollinger Bands, we sell the position and we wait. When the price comes back down the middle or even the bottom, we buy the position back. That's what we've been doing. So yeah, we just closed, like you guys saw a couple of seconds ago, we just closed it because it touched the bottom or the middle of the control point of the Bollinger Band. So yeah, we close it, open one, and as right now, as you can see, it's still $2 up. So we're gonna wait and see how the price is gonna close. But anyways, that's how I'm teaching them, using the Bollinger Band, using the RSI, and using the MACD, as you guys can see, right? So he's learning, and that's something that everybody should do. Should teach your kids how to trade on spot or on leverage. I'm teaching my kid how to trade on all sides, spots and leverage. That's what I'm doing. Anyways, we are talking about Kaspa. If you go to Kaspa, KAS, here, okay? Now, on Kaspa, there is something you have to look at. On the hourly, you can see, like I told you guys, okay? Look at the Bollinger Bands. We are touching the top side of the Bollinger Bands, and we are above the point of control. That's where we are on the hourly. Look at the RSI. Facing upwards, MACD is also going upwards. So this right now shows bullish momentum, because again, Bitcoin is doing its thing and it's going to drag it whether we like it or not. On the 4 hourly, if you look at it, 4 hourly, so look, that's another thing that you got to look at. Those of you on the day traders, once you saw it go below the Bollinger Band, this was a good entry. I would have entered if I was a day trader. I would have entered and then target to see what will happen when we get to the middle point, which is the control, price control. See if it gets rejected there, or maybe it's going to get above to go try the top of the Bollinger Band. And then I would have watched that too, see if we're breaking above it and see if the Bollinger Bands are doing this and squeezing. That's what I would have targeted. So yeah, it's still playing pretty good for Kaspa. I think we are still doing very good. If you look at it on the daily, that's also another one that shows me like, yeah, there's a lot of price momentum coming in, because you can see that those Bollinger Bands, they are very, very squeezing. And sometimes, not sometimes, every time you see a Bollinger Band squeezing like this, price explosion is about to happen. The only bad thing about Bollinger Band is that we don't know what direction they are going to take. Okay, depends. If it is squeezing while touching the bottom of the bands, 10 times out of 10, it always go up. But right now we're looking at it, we are sitting testing the middle side, so we don't know where it's going to go. But hey, that's one of the reasons you take as being a day trader, right? Anyways, now let's continue right quick. Look at our quant QNT, the banker's coin. Let's go with quant QNT right quick. And we go here. The hourly, again, we are still pretty good on quant, because hey, we have not broken this support. We haven't broken it yet. Quant is still doing pretty good. It could go sideways, it could do whatever it is doing as long as we are staying on top of that. Now, one thing again I was looking at, I think it's a double bottom, because if you see, this is one, this is two, and now let's wait to see when we go above that 79.80. $79.80, see what happens there. Another thing is, you look at the famous ribbon. Ribbon is curving. It is still red, but it is curving. So we already know price always gets attracted to moving average. Okay, that is nothing new. We've seen it here time after time after time. Sometimes it uses as support, sometimes it retests and it gets rejected. But that, as far as we haven't touched it yet, that shows you that yeah, there is still some upward price movement coming. So yeah, wait for it. We tried to do it here. See, we got attracted, but it couldn't hold. Tried again, it couldn't hold. The dump that happened yesterday due to the silver is what pushed the price down. But we already know it's manipulation, so it is going to take off again. If you look at it on the 4-hourly, for example, you will see the same situation. Okay, same situation. Like I said, I believe it's a W, because it comes down, goes up, comes down. Let's see if we can break that. And also the same thing, price always get attracted to moving average. So let's watch and see what happens here. Much more with what happened with Bitcoin, with the manipulation that happened yesterday. Was it the last, or maybe there's still some downside? Me looking at it and looking at the way silver recovered, yeah, I don't think so. We are getting close. I'm telling you, macroeconomy would not let this thing go like this. They have a very short window to pump Bitcoin. Very short. It's not going to be a multi-month extended run like everybody said. It's not going to be. Pay attention to the news coming out on that camp, and you will start to understand what I mean by everything. Okay, as a matter of fact, that's why I said under $125 is nothing but noise. Above that we have 151, above that 164, then 176. If we can go past all those price targets, next one will be 230. And once we pass 230, you start looking at all-time high. Above that is price discovery. And yeah, money will be made. It's up to you. Now, Bitcoin, for example, there's not much I can tell you here about Bitcoin. Okay, not this one. I want to use this one, it's better. There's not much I can tell you other than the big manipulation going on here, which I have been telling you guys is big money. We all wanted ETFs and all that stuff. Yeah, we all wanted it. What we did not take in account is the paper money coming to manipulate Bitcoin. Paper Bitcoin, look at these swings, my friends. Look, down, up, down, up, down, up. I mean, and they are all, if you really measure, they are almost on the same range. Bitcoin jumps $5 to $10 $5 to $10,000 difference. That's what it is doing. And yeah, it is crazy to see how this thing is doing this. Very, very crazy. But well, you need a lot of money to be able to do this. Sooner than later, there will be not much money left for them to keep on doing this. As you can see, if you are, let me take a higher time frame, like the daily. If you go on the daily, see that? There is not much. Look at how many days. Since November, we've been sideways. Some try to push it up, some try to push it down, some try. So there is not much left. But for me, I think, like I keep saying, it is just manipulation. All you have to do is be patient. A lot of money is going to be made. If you look at it on the weekly, despite all these things happening, look at the ribbon. It is still green. That is something I usually say, like, it is manipulation. They are going to pump it. It is still green. And if you want to, you can add the indicator that I'm looking at, the pi circle. Look at the blue line. Do you see it? It's now flat. The blue line is flat, sitting at $200,000. Now, what I'm expecting is this thing to come down here and this to go. Sometime in a distant future, they are going to converge and they are going to flip. Once they do, we will see the top of the run. That's why for me, I think 160 is going to be there. But well, I can be wrong, right? So we're going to wait when we get to 160,000 and we're going to see how the market reacts. That's what we are going to do here. So you can, for you, like I said, I'm not your financial advisor, right? I am only showing you what I am doing. Okay, yeah, I'm not there. You're more than free to look at the market, look at the signs, and decide for yourself what you want to do. Now, if you look at it, for those of you day traders, let's look at quants right quick on the day trade. Let's see, QNT, QNT. We go here. Okay, now we start first on the 1 hour. You remember we had a buy signal. But right now in the 1 hour, you can see we are above the point of control on the Bollinger Bands. Look at the MACD and RSI. They are also getting converging down, which shows you like, yeah, this price is about to either take a, it is retesting the middle point of the Bollinger Band. MACD and RSI look bullish. I think it's going to try again, go retry the top of that Bollinger Band. So pay attention to that. If you look at it on the daily, you see the Bollinger Bands, they are squeezing, and above all, we have a buy signal. See, like I always tell you guys, once it touches the bottom of the bands, you should start looking at it. For me, I would have entered a trade and wait. Okay, when I was a day trader, I would have entered one and then put a stop loss. But for you guys, yeah, everybody's different. You can do it however you see it. For me, I think, yeah, I would enter a trade here and wait to see what it does when it goes back on the point of control. That's what I would have done. Okay, so if you want to go a little higher, let's go on the 7 days, which is a weekly. You see on the weekly, we also have a buy signal. The only issue I have here is that the Bollinger Band seems to be curving up, downwards. That's what it seems. But these things are very, very unpredictable, because anytime from now you could see it do this, do that. Okay, so on the weekly, we have a buy signal. I would have entered a trade and I would have waited. That's what I would have done. Okay, but that is not for day traders. For a day trader, you don't want to trade on the weekly. You want to do even on the signal based on the 1 hour, 4 hours, or the day or the day signals. For those of us long term that enter a position for long term and then scale it up, yeah, the buy signal appeared. That means, yeah, this thing is about to go. So anyways, up to you. Anyways, now we go back now to what I am showing my son, our Bitcoin trade, right? You guys know, like I said, I'm showing him how to scalp trade on the daily, and we are doing this on the 5 minutes. As you guys can see here, that's the Bitcoin trade right now. We started with $20. We are up 80.2 $80 or something like that. Now let me click on it so that we get the chart for that. So what we are doing here, go back on the 5 minutes. As you see, we got a buy signal, so we enter the trade. Right now. That trade is retesting the middle of that Bollinger Band. I can't show my son on YouTube, but hey, you can see him right now. He's nervous as hell. He's talking about, look at it, dad, look at it, dad. And I'm like, again, like I always tell everybody, patience. See, we entered. Okay, you see the trade, and you see we are testing that middle price control. So right now, to me, it seems like this will go up and retest the top of that, because if you can look closer, you will see the Bollinger Bands, they are facing upwards. That's what it is. So I think it's bullish. So let's watch and let's see. Like I told him, you have to be, part of being a scalp trader is being patient. The only thing I don't like about it, okay, is that you have to stay stuck to the screen to look at it. But so far, you see, you have it a little red, because look at that. Look at your MACD here, and then you look at your RSI. So your RSI is almost resetting. MACD is going to come down a little bit. Yeah, the position might go red for a meantime, but that does not mean that it's going to drop, because if you look at everything else, it is showing that it's facing upwards, right? So as you guys can see, we are down $1, which I told him, do not panic. Liquidation is 86.89. So price right now is sitting at 88. Unless a catastrophe that Bitcoin just dropped out of the blue, then yes, you will have your problem. But look at it. See, it's almost going positive again, and then we are looking at the Bollinger Bands doing their thing. So it is simple. You have to teach. I'm teaching my son the way I trade. Okay, it's different. I'm trying to teach my son how to trade from the 5 minutes daily scalping. Once he masters that, I will start teaching him on the bigger money side, because right now we are using $20. Just like I always tell you guys, just use $20. So far, I wouldn't say he the one that did it, because I'm the one. We have turned $20 into $80, but I want him to do it himself. So first of all, a couple of hours, let him look at it, let him learn, and see how we go from there, right? So that's what we are doing. Anyways, let's go right quick. Let's go look at my positions, okay? But before we do that, just like I just told my son, it's easier for you to just buy on spot and hold. Do not get on leverage, because again, leverage trading is the easiest way you can lose your money. Okay, so please just stick to spot trading. But if you want to do on leverage, down below I do have the links: Bydfi, Phemex, Wix, and Margex. You can follow those links. You have to follow the links and sign up. Meet their deposit requirements. Once you do that, they're going to give you free money. You get the free money, just like I'm showing my son right now. You take $20 out. With this $20, start practicing. If you are able to turn 20 into 40, 40 into 80, 80 into a 100, okay, then you are ready to go. You're ready for the bigger money. If you're not ready for that, my friends, do not go into leverage trading. Just like with my son, we started with a 20, we hit 40, double up. Now we are hitting 80. Once we double up, once we hit that $90, $100, we're going to double up, close the trade, double it up. That's how you do it, okay? Long term is different from the daily. You are going to find out once you start to practice. But anyways, let's go right quick. Let's go look at my positions. We're going to start with my Bydfi, which is I'm trading King Kaspa, and I am also trading Quant and Jasmine. As you guys can see, due to the market doing what it is doing, we are sitting at $5,100, okay, in the overall. Now, if you look at my positions, you will see that here, let's go right here. On Kaspa, we are down $73, $74, which again, it is what it is, right? The market is doing its thing. If you look at Jasmine, we are down $20, $16, my apologies, okay? And the market is doing what it is doing, right? So, and you also see on my quant, we went down again $5,200. It's like, wow. Well, but let's watch. Everything is going up according to plan. Bitcoin is doing its thing, therefore the entire market is also going to follow. But if you can pause it, you will see that I trade at 50x and I don't use stop loss. That's me, okay? That's why my positions move so aggressively, okay? Anyways, now let's go to the next one, Phemex. On Phemex, I am trading King Kaspa, and I am also trading Quant. Plus right now I'm using it to teach my son how to trade Bitcoin on scalp. So yeah, so far you can see that. You see what I was telling you about the trade? See that we touched the point of control, now it is going up. See that? That's exactly what's happening. Papa, you looking at it? So you see what I'm saying? See, that's what is but anyways, you have to be patient. Papa, you see, you have to be patient. So you have to be patient when it comes to day trading or scalp trading. You have to be patient. But anyways, you can see that Bitcoin trade is now up $9. We're gonna wait until we get to the top of the Bollinger Bands and see how the price react. If it's still going up, we're gonna let it go. But if the MACD and RSI are coming down, we're gonna close it and wait for it to come back down to either the point of control or the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. So yeah, that's why we are doing this. But anyways, for that Bitcoin trade, we're up $9, which again, $10. There we go. It is going the way it's supposed to. Anyways, on Kaspa, we are still down $81, okay, which is no problem. And by the way, if you look at that Bitcoin trade, just like I'm teaching my son, I'm trading at 50x with no stop loss. Okay, I am trying to teach my son to trade the way I do. Anyways, with no stop loss. But on Kaspa, we are down $71, which is okay, man. Let it do its thing. And on the quant, we are down $122. Again, I trade at 50x. You can pause it and look, and I use no stop loss. That's me. The overall on this account is still sitting at $1,300 approximately. Now, last but not the least, we go into Wix. On Wix Exchange, we are trading King Kaspa, Quant, and we are also trading Cubic. Overall here is sitting at $1,400 approximately. And if you can look at the contracts, you will see that here Cubic, we are almost breaking even, which is $10. It's all right. Okay, same thing goes to Quant. On this position, Quant, we are down $225 approximately. It's still doing its thing. And you can also go on Kaspa, we are down $131. Okay, on all of them, you can pause it and you will see that I trade at 50x with no stop loss. That's how I trade. So you can pause it and look at the numbers if that's what you want to see. Now, the last one is going to be Acorn. Acorn is what I'm using to teach my kid how to trade stock market and also how to trade ETFs. Now, as you guys can see, yeah, stock market did its thing and we went to Rec City. So, but regardless, his portfolio still look good. Portfolio is $662, in which, yeah, I'm still proud of him as being a 9-year-old being able to trade. I'm very proud of my kid. Okay, but anyways, if you look at his investment portfolio, you will see that here it says he's still up 3.54%. He's still off there. We're trading the 4 ETFs, the VOO, which is the version of S&P 500 that I chose. We are up $311. It was higher than that, but the market came down. Medium companies, IJH, $39. Small companies, IJR, so we have $19. And international companies, which is another one I do recommend if you really want to go into this, $159. Now, bonds and ETFs. Okay, we're about to see once they peg the U.S. Treasuries to stable coins. Let's see how this section is going to react. But the bonds short term, we are $39, and the aggregate, it was higher than this, and it came down because the market is doing its thing. We are still there at $92. So yeah, for me, if you ask me again, I'll tell you it's a good thing for you to teach your next generation this kind of stuff, because they don't teach this at school. Okay, anyways guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to make it to 5,000 subscribers. And also don't forget to like. It only takes you a second. Click and drop me a comment. If you don't have anything to say, drop an emoji. All right, happy one, angry one, crying one, whatever you got. Okay, let's do that. Okay, and also don't forget to share, so that all the millionaire minded attitude like you and yours truly, we all can see these videos and the family can grow. You never know what you will learn from a stranger, right? Until I see you in my next one, guys, please take very good care of yourselves. Okay, bye.